Hello everyone, welcome again to the last class for cohort 4. You've come this far. I salute you, kiddos. So let's kick off. I'm just going to go briefly over a few of the designs that were sent. Or you know what? Oh yeah, let me just go over a few of them before we go into what we're supposed to do today. Okay. I should do this for 10 minutes and then move on. Okay. So yeah, so here we are, right? Curated by SOC. Can we all see this clearly? Please, you can just say yes or
Yes, we can.
Yes,
nice.
you can.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we can see.
Nice. Thanks. So obviously, this has a very, very simplistic vibe. I mean, it works as a logo. To be honest, it works without a shadow of a doubt, and it can change in different formats depending on. Obviously, the colors can change. So when I need this to be red, I can change this to be red, and the background will have to be white so that it can show under, and stuff like that. So it works perfectly. Maybe the only suggestion that I'll have that I can add would be to create an interesting contrast between curated and by SOC. Okay, because there are two texts. So maybe curated can be maybe a script font because it's probably having vibes of gifts and stuff like that. And gifts are usually special. So for a gift, you want to use like a special type of font. I mean, that's mainstream knowledge. If your brand is taking a different approach, feel free to use whatever font you like, but that's just like a personal general mainstream suggestion that you will typically get. That's it. So this is a, I'm not sure what this is, but it will be better if the background wasn't with a lot of these activities. So it would have been nicer if this was this small, such that it doesn't disturb the logo, depending on what the purpose of this is, because it's disturbing the text, right? So it's difficult to see what exactly was written there. So yeah, so this might be much better depending on what the purpose of this banner is. Okay, but there's no background, so I really can't make any comments in that regard. So I mean, my suggestion will be give it a background. So what you do, come to background, find a nice background. If you want to use this color, feel free because obviously that's the color of your brand. And then you might want to change this color to the particular color that was used here. Um, Not necessarily, I'm just showing you what's possible, right? And then maybe you want to give it a background, search gifts. Well, no, you don't want to share gifts again because this is already a gift thing. So you just want to use like a simple plain background that has no too much drama. Okay, cool. I feel like there was an image there, but I don't know why it's not showing, right? So I don't know if this is like a suitable background, but yeah, I mean, this works. Or any other thing that doesn't necessarily have too much drama around it so that the background can show very clearly. Okay, so I'm done with this. Triple A delight, satisfying your craving. Whoever this is, well done for taking a stab at this. My comments will be a lot. First, let me tell you what I really love. I love this box, satisfying your craving. You can see it very clearly. It's very well illustrated. It's center aligned, and the contrast is very good. The only challenge that I'm having right now is triple A delight because you have it directly over a picture. So I don't know if this is a logo or this is a banner. Okay, if it's a logo, it should be one entity. If it's a banner where you're having mixtures of pictures and stuff, I should be able to tell where the logo is and where the information that's on the banner is. Okay, so whoever this is, you need to do a little more work with redefining your logo. If this is your logo and maybe this background isn't supposed to be there, then you want to actually have triple A delight in a different font come from this just to create that difference. Obviously, there's a good contrast of the size because AAA Delight is bigger than Satisfying Your Cravings, but beyond the size is also the type of fonts because it's a logo. You want it to have some character. Okay, so that's my comment for this person. Yeah, ACO or AOC, I don't know. Whoever this is, well done. This is actually cool. My only challenge here is the alignment, and I'll show you what I mean by the alignment. Here, C is centrally aligned to this rectangle, but here A is aligned down. and then there's a lot of space here, and then here O is aligned down and there's a lot of space here. So if you want to do center alignment, do it for everything. If you want to do lower bottom alignment, do it for everything. Another thing is the space between this. So you can see the space between A and C is larger than the space between this and this. So in my mind, I feel like maybe they should be the same space. Okay. Also, it feels a little unbalanced the way this box is up, and it feels like the distance between here and here is not the same to the distance between here and here. So you want to bring this down a little. I kind of did this design, so it's difficult to make those corrections in real time, but I hope you can take those comments and work on it. But I like the color. This is very good use of complementary colors, blue and orange, obviously with some little, what's the word, shading, well, not shading, but diversifying the color just a little. So yeah, whoever this is, good attempt, well done. This Ovisam's musings, I really like it, very nice. The only challenge that I have now is the feather looks so much bigger than the text, so people would think like this is the icon. Meanwhile, I feel like this is supposed to be just supposed to be on top of the eye, like the thing. I don't know for sure, but that's just what I think. And then musings, I love the font type, but this specific font, when I say font type, I mean the fact that it's a handwriting font or a, you know, chill font. But this particular font isn't very legible. I mean, it's, you can read it, but you want it to be a little more legible. So I mean, this is fine, except maybe you can just bring it up a little so they don't feel too far away from each other, especially because this is right on top of this. So you want to bring this up a little to make it look compact. Okay. I mean, this is fine actually. The text is nice, but I personally, don't forget, personally would have opted for a more visible, easy to read logo, easy to read font. Okay. But I really like this. This is good. Well done. L'Espave. I think that's the pronunciation. I'm not a French guy, but I really like this as well. Actually, this is really good. Um, I like the icon. For the text, there's just a lot of space between Lespa and Vert, and then the fact that there's an underlay of another type of text makes this text harder to read. So it would have been easier with Lespa Vert without the second color behind it. Okay, I think that's a blue color behind the green, so it makes it more difficult to read. Okay, so that's my suggestion. Remove that underlay of text and then bring Lespa and Vert closer together, right? And maybe even rearrange it such that Lespa Vert is as big as this, as big as the image, the icon, the mascot. Okay, yeah. So that's what I can say for now. So in the class that I'm talking about, where we're going to have next week, we can actually have a conversation while I'm working on your design, so you can tell me why you did what you did and stuff like that. So that'll be more fun. I just wanted to know like your thoughts. Skyway Tech, please can you help me mute your mic? It's disturbing. I don't know what this is, but it looks like HCM, or yeah, something like that. It looks like HCM. So the thing is really busy. I can't exactly place my hand on what exactly it is. So it's very difficult. There's a syringe, there's heart. It feels like something medical, but like I would always say, typically the fact that your logo has to do with food doesn't mean you have to put a food on your logo. So um this is not very very clear. I like the composition, actually. I like the composition, the gathering of the elements together. This is very cohesive. My only challenge is that it's difficult for me to read because of the integration of the text and the icons. So it might be easier without that integration. So hopefully whoever this is, if you can make some edits to make your text a little bolder so that people can read and know exactly, because when people see your logo, something wants to stick in their head, either the initials or the text or the word or the character or something. But here there's so many things I can't place my hand on what exactly. Okay, I feel like the most visible thing is the heart heartbeat thing, and the syringe. And then I can't even pick if this is HCM or, you know, yeah. So that's it. Um, nice. Whoever did this, well done. Just too far away from the edge, but well done. Okay. So let's go over to Canva as we continue from our conversation yesterday. Any questions so far? Anything that needs clarification? Anything that seems difficult to understand?
None here.
Okay, cool. So everyone is on board.
My concern is about that lady who made an icon of the woman, and then I think the before the last one that you
Yeah,
comment about.
the green one.
I don't know how she got that icon. Like that really looks nice. I don't know.
Yeah, it's on Canva. If you go into Elements and
Do you
search, you'll
get
find it. Yes. Or better still, you can actually import
okay?
elements like that from the internet. So very possible. Either ways, anyone works. All right. So we were working on. How many of you went through the links I sent? Can you guys hear me? Hello.
Yes, we.
Yeah. I went
Okay.
through it.
Okay. Okay. Who
Yeah, I
else? Who
can
else
hear
went through
you, but
it?
I've not gone through them yet. They are
Okay.
Yes, I
quite a
went
lot.
through a few.
Okay. So they're actually blog posts. They don't require too much reading, but it's going to be good to read. Okay. So yeah. So uh there's something there that I wish everyone read. It's about types of logos, right? So let me go through that very quickly. You can read more on it if you want to. Are we good? Can you see my screen? 7 types of logo and how to use them.
Yes, we can.
All right, cool. So here, let me show you 7 types of logo really quickly. There's abstract mark. Now, abstract mark is, imagine Pepsi logo. It doesn't look like anything exactly. You can think maybe it's a ball, but then balls don't have this thing in the middle. It's just abstracts, right? Um, Mascots are, remember when I used the word mascot for that lady's icon? So mascots are usually like a visual representation of something, and you can see it in the KFC logo. A combination mark is a mixture of word mark. Can you see word mark where we have Google? So word mark is where you use the name of the business for the design of the logo. So imagine my logo is DR Logistics, and I use DR Logistics for my logo, right? That's a word mark, right? Or no, yeah, DR Logistics, right? Now, letter mark, as you can see here, is instead of using DR Logistics, I use DRL. So DRL stands for DR Logistics. Okay, that's a letter mark. So letter mark is like using the first initials of the whatever it stands for. So like NASA is National Agency for Space Administration, I think. Yeah. So then pictorial mark, a pictorial mark is kind of like abstract, but it refers to something. So you can see an apple, it looks like an apple. If it was a banana, it would look like a banana. If it was a mango, it would look like a mango. Okay. Now the last one, emblem logo. Emblem logos are they usually have shields and a lot of interesting elements around them. So I'm going to show you a few more down the line. Combination mark is a mixture of pictorial mark and word mark. So pictorial mark, you can see this obviously looks like a burger, and then this is text. And then we have here another abstract figure. So it's a combination of word mark, pictorial mark, abstract mark to form something that depicts the brand. Okay. So let me show you a sample of letter mark. HBO stands for something. IBM stands for International Business Machines. NASA stands for National Aeronautic Space Administration, not agency. Aeronautic Space Administration. Okay. So word marks or logo types, as they are called, just name of the company, name of the brand. Visa, Coca-Cola, Google, right? However stylized it is or non-stylized it is, that's what the logo is going to be. Okay. Then somebody's drawing on my screen. Shama. Sorry, let me stop sharing and then reshare to get rid of what's on my screen. Okay, cool. So a pictorial mark is like, this is an apple, this is a bird, this is a target, obviously. Yeah. Then abstract logos don't really look like any particular thing like this. You would probably say a flower, but flowers don't have this kind of FEZ. Circle and just, you can't really place Adidas what exactly it is, right? But it's an abstract mark and it's already depicting the nature of the brand. Okay. Mascots, like I said, it's usually a pictorial visualization of something that exists, many times a living thing. So maybe an animal, a person, it's usually different from an icon. Combination marks. So you can see Doritos, you can see Burger King and Lacoste. Okay, so imagine using an icon and a text or a letter mark or a word mark. We will have a combination mark. Okay, so emblem, you can see an emblem. You typically have like high detail, a lot of things around it. They are usually not as simple, and they usually refer to, or they typically um they typically illustrate like longevity, and like trustworthiness or length, because most of these things they're inspired by old brands or old things basically. Yeah. So that's a just a minor basic introduction into different types of logos. Okay, so you can go through it if you want to learn more about it. All right, do we understand the 7 types of logos in summary?
Yes, we do.
Nice. If
Yeah,
you
that
don't,
was interesting.
please let me know. Okay, so let's continue then. So we have right now, what we have here is obviously a logo type word mark. Okay, so we need to choose the exact type of font we need to use for this logo. What font are we going to use for copies, please? I'm thinking we should use a handwriting font to make it look calm and cool. And then maybe the color we're going to use, let's figure out what type we're going to use first. Let me use a handwriting font.
I thought it was supposed to be a classy place, like for rich people and everything.
Yes, it is supposed to be. So, I mean, yes, that would be a simplistic approach to doing that. Simplistic in the sense that we'll be going exactly by the textbook. For example, there are actual brands that refer to or that attract high net worth clients, and they don't exactly have those types of fonts. Okay, but you know what? For the sake of this class, I think we can actually just do that. Let's use a script font. Okay. And another thing you want to think of is, apart from the people you're targeting, you want to think of the type of brand that it is. So, for example, if Copy's place is like a tea place, it's a relaxing place, right? You want to think of just actually chilling, not necessarily like stressing. Do you get? So you want to use like a calm handwriting font, okay?
Is it possible to combine a handwriting and script font?
It's possible, but it can be distracting because a handwriting font has a lot of character. A script font also has a lot of character. So look at this. This is a handwriting font, right? Let me imagine that I'm changing place to a script font. So like I said, you want to make a good contrast between the types of fonts. So if you're using a script font, you want to use the next type of font you're using as maybe a sans font or a serif font that is not dramatic. Okay. So okay, so now we're searching for logos, but I'm trying to find fonts. So yeah, so this is a script font. So imagine having something like this, copies place, right? I mean, this is not like terrible as in, oh my God, what is this? Right? But it would be better if the difference is not, if the difference is obvious, difference in the sense that um copies, and another reason why, okay, let me compose my thoughts. Difference, contrast in the sense that one is very dramatic, the other should be calm. If one is calm, the other should be dramatic. It's kind of the same thing. It's like creating balance. When you use a light picture and a dark, when you use a light color and a dark color, when you use a bright text and a dark text. Okay, what you're trying to do is you're trying to create contrast, and contrast is beautiful. So if you have a handwriting font and a script font, they are both very, very bold and they have huge characters. Okay, so you want to have Skyway Tech. Can you please mute your mic?
Pardon me for that. I don't know.
All right, no problem. Thanks. Okay. Patty Haruna, please can you mute your mic as well? Okay, cool. So there we go, right? So I don't know, Elsa, do you understand what I just explained? Hello?
Yes, I do. I actually meant that the copy, is it possible to find a text that, can you hear me?
Oh no, this is not the font we're using for the text.
No, I meant that for the copies, like
Yeah.
the copies, not the place now. Is it
Oh,
possible to find a text that has both handwriting and script properties in it?
yes, it's very possible. Yes. There are some
Then
fonts
the
that
place
have
can
a
be a sans.
yeah, cool, exactly. So let me even show you to give you a good idea of what it feels like. So look at this Quincy. Then look at this one. To have a good idea of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about like contrasts with the fonts that you're using. So as you can see, if you look from here now, Quincy is a serif font, right? But it's a very clean serif font. Organic Care is a script or a handwriting font. I'm not sure which it is, right? So that's the one that has a lot of character. Look here, you can see the exact same thing. Stella and Oliver are calm. May 1st, 20 is the one that has a lot of character. Here, Amor is the one that is calm. Studio has a lot of character. Here, My Bali is the one that has a lot of character, and Wellness Spy is the one that is calm. Do you understand the contrast between the types of texts by some of the examples that I've given?
Yes.
Nice. All right. Thank you so much. So let's proceed. So here, for copies, please, we're going to use a. So honestly, we can use a script font, or we can actually use a serif font. So I'm going to try both, and we'll vote on which is going to be a better choice. All right. So let me Google script, search script. Sorry. Okay. So here we have a lot of script fonts. Let me see. Copies. Yeah, that works actually. But okay. So you know what? Let me use only free fonts. Let me see. Brittany, Bright Sunshine. Nope. The C is so small. This looks too childish. Let me see. Holiday. Yeah, so this might actually work.
Yeah, this is
Or
nice.
this, yeah. So any one of these. So I'll use this for this. Yeah. Make it big, make it larger,
Yes, I
right?
agree.
And then for place, what we're going to do is we can do something like we can use a serif font for this, a serif font that doesn't have too much character. Okay, so let's see. See, if you want to learn how to design, please don't forget, learn how to copy. Learn how to copy. Like I could literally have gone online and copied everything and just use a different type. I'm going to get the exact same results. It's like music. If you copy someone's music for a while, and you're going to kind of just know how music works. Okay, so please don't forget.
Copy from
Uh,
copies place.
wow, to copy this tune. All right, so let us find a very nice font that doesn't have too much drama. I'm not sure I really like that one. I'm trying to find one that is simple. So one of those popular ones is Playfair Display, was in the example that we had. Okay, so let me use this. This is kind of like a really classy rich font. So sometimes if you can't fulfill that purpose with your if you can't if you want to have a blend of feels, so if you want it to look calm and classy, if you want it to look rich and free, you can have that mixture with the types of fonts that you use. Okay, so copies here is like the really calm, cool, gentle, relax, and then place has a type of wealthy vibe to it. So let me increase the letter spacing, because I don't know, I wish people like all these kind of things have a lot of space. So let me just do that. Okay, so this is one. Now the space looks too much. Okay, so yeah, so we have this option, right? We're going to duplicate this and try a different alternative entirely. So let's use a script font. Let's see, it's no, not script. Let's use a serif font. Okay, we'll probably want this to be in caps. So Musu, are you saying anything?
Isn't it looking serious?
Yeah, it is, but no, we're going to try and find another font. So, like I said, you can actually have the mix. So if we have copies looking serious, we can have place looking very playful. Yeah.
Playful.
Yeah. So imagine that this is copies, right? I mean, this is not as serious as that one because it has more media attached to it, right? And then here we can use a handwriting font to make it look calm. And cool. So let me find one. Obviously, oh no, not caps. So that it's, oh, what's happening? Sorry. So that it doesn't have, right? So this will work. So we just need to find the exact font. I mean, this font will work actually. I just want to see if you can find something else. No, that one. No, not that one. No, not that one too. So to be honest, this is another thing that you probably just have to figure out on your own. Figuring out like what exact fonts to use. I mean, there are a series of fonts that can actually work, but eventually the one that you pick will be largely also based on your personal preference, apart from the suitability. So I mean, a handwriting font is suitable, but then which handwriting font should I pick? So that will be like honestly largely up to you as a designer to select, what you feel is giving off the vibe that you want. So yeah, so I think we can have this. I'm still not too
I
sure
think the
about it.
P of the place should be a small letter.
Um, oh yeah, so yeah, it does work better that way actually. Let me see if I can change this font to something else. Although it works, honestly, like this actually works. I'm just being greedy by trying to look around to be sure that I got the best possible font. So these are the things that will take
The
your time.
Mr. Defoe too was also nice.
Mr. What?
DAFOE.
Okay, I don't even know where that is. But
You clicked on it earlier.
I'm trying to find it. You know what? We're running out of time and I want to cover a lot today. So, let's just stick with this, right? So, I mean, this works, right? This works as well, right? So, whichever you eventually pick is going to be at your discretion and nobody can flog you at the designer, okay? So, let's move on from here, right? So another thing we want to select now is what picture are we going to use? Because obviously you can't just use one color. What color? Sorry, what color are we going to use? You can't choose only one color. Okay, so let's now this is, to be honest, right? There is the calculative part of this and there's also the intuitive part of it. Intuitive in the sense that like you can check all the rules, what color do they use for that, what color do they use for this. But some part of you might just be like, you know what? I know the rules, but I really just want to use this color for whatever strong reason you're the designer, nobody can beat you. But if you're just starting and you want to be very safe, you know what? Go by the books. Okay. So let's say we want to make this purple, right? And purple because one, it's close to pink. Two, it has like some royalty vibes. Although that's not the purple I'm looking for. The purple I'm looking for is a little deeper. Okay. So we want to use a color scheme. Now I'm going to use purple, and now there are many ways when you want to pick a color scheme. It depends on what you want, right? So for this brand, if it's going to be attracting a lot of females, you probably want to use like purple and pink, purple and peach, those type of colors. If you just really want to attract people who want to chill, whether they are males or females, you want to use colors that are neutral. So let's assume that, I mean, judging from the personality of DJ Copy, she probably would like, want it to be very girly and stuff. So I feel like we can do that. Okay. So let me change the color of this to something pink. Let me find something pink. Well, no, that's too pink. That's not the type of pink I'm looking for. Um, I want something that's somewhere in between pink and red. So you can see now another way to search for colors is by moving from here. So if you want something that is really red, you come to this red place. This is the reddest red you can get. If you bring it down, it gets darker, right? You're shading it. If you take it to the left, it gets brighter. You are tinting it, okay? So have that in mind. So I want a color that's somewhere in between pink and red. That is not pink and it's not really red, okay? So um, now the principle behind this color selection is obviously the analogous colors. If you notice, analogous colors are red, reddish magenta, reddish purple, reddish violet, violet, then blue. Okay, but yeah, so that's like the textbook principle behind this color selection. Hi Miriam, yeah, you can speak.
Hi, David. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
I was just going to say regarding the colors, I
Yeah.
remember there was a time um, I had to design something and I saw a
Okay.
color. I Googled something and I saw a color that I liked, but
Yeah.
like just the way we were looking for what shade it was, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
you see a color and it's a bit
Mm-hmm.
difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was just going to say it might be helpful to some people. I'm sorry, if you can just quickly click on that color section, there are some numbers there that
Oh,
if you
okay.
have the
Okay. The color code.
yeah, the color code, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
you can probably just look
use
for that
use it.
color code.
True. True. So another thing that
Thank
I would
you.
thank you, Miriam. Thank you very much. I would have forgotten to mention this actually, especially when you're working with brands. For example, if you're working with Coca-Cola, their Coca-Cola red is a particular red. And if it is not that particular red, it will look off. So how do you know the exact red? They will usually send you a color scheme. Okay. So let me show you something like what I'm talking about. I worked on a brand recently. Let me open it up here so that you can have a good idea. Another thing you can also do is when you're looking for color schemes, right? So let me tell you very simply, just go online, color scheme. Right? So in those colors, when you Google color scheme, you're going to see a lot of things, right? When you go to image, you're going to see a lot of things. You can also check on Pinterest. You're going to see a lot of color schemes. And what you are seeing here, this number is the color code. So if I see that I like this color scheme and I want to use all the colors here, or if I want to use just 1, 2, 3, 4 colors, right? I can just copy this color code on my canvas. So imagine this is 173F5F. Another good resource is color.co. Coolors, sorry. COO. You know what? Let me just Google it. Google search. So that's going to help you with um, selecting colors. Yeah. So you can generate color schemes here, right? And you're going to get the codes as well. Okay. So another way to also generate color is if you find an image online, for example, and you want the color scheme from that image. So maybe if you want a nude color scheme, for example. So imagine that I Google nude. I'll probably Google nude color scheme. Jesus. Nude color scheme. Right? Sorry about that. Nude color scheme. Okay. So what you're going to find is color schemes in that direction, because I feel like a lot of people, there's a lot of diversion of brands in this direction. So you can do this. So on Canva, for example, if you import an image, right, you will see the brand colors on your photo section. So let me show you what I'm saying. So imagine colors is still loading, right? So yeah, this is colors, right? Introduce yourself to it. I'll share the link on the group so you can feel free to move around. Because of time, I really want to move on. We don't have a lot of time. Okay, cool. So feel free to dig around. This is another way to find colors. Yeah, so here we are, these two colors, and they pop very well, right? So we're good with these two colors. Okay, so now assume this is our logo, right? So let me use the same thing for this one. Okay, so here we go, right? So which one are we picking, one or two? How do we do this? Should we take a poll? You know what,
Let's
I'm going to
pick one.
I prefer one.
I
one.
like one. Yeah.
Oh my god, are you serious? I actually prefer two.
Yeah.
I
Interesting.
prefer one.
I prefer one as well. Two is
Wow.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Majority carries the votes. All right, so let's do two then. Bye. So this is logo that we're going to use, right? First thing, group it. Control G, or just gather together like this. Select both of them and then click on group. Okay, you've grouped it. Now, this logo that we have here, we are going to have it in different formats. We're going to have it in black. We're going to have it in white. We're going to have it in all purple. We're going to have it in all this reddish pink, and we're also going to have it. Yeah, we don't need to have it reversed because there are two colors already. Okay, so now let's design the social media banner saying, can we get a copy? Can anyone give us a copy for this banner so we can use it to, for the logo, so we can use it to create our banner?
Grab your copy now.
Wow. It's something DJ Copy can say. So let's do that. Grab your.
Wait, sorry. Is this not like a tea business or something? Like the brand? Is it for like a tea business
Yeah,
or
so like
something?
yeah, it's like a tea business. So let's assume that like they typically call one cup of tea a copy.
A
Okay.
copy.
Yeah,
A
so
cup of
Yeah,
tea
exactly.
keeps the copy. Wait.
please, you people. So let's align this to the left, right? Or however, now this is where I wanted to get to. I said learn how to copy. So I'm going to show you what I do typically, right? I want to design banner for a tea business. So I'm going to go to Pinterest. You can go on Google, anyone, right? Tea coffee shop, no, tea shop design, right? I'll do the same thing here. I prefer Pinterest because I feel like I usually get a better curated selection of like nice designs. So T-shop design is showing me actual T-shop designs. So let me Google T brand design. Okay. Aha. So here we're seeing a lot of things, right? So now obviously this is usually around the lines of packaging. You see a lot of packaging because of what we Googled, right? So let's Google something else, or let's search something else. Let's search.
Or maybe you could search banner, tea shop banner.
T-shirt banner, sweet. Okay, so we're not getting really great results. But another thing that you can also do is actually just Google regular banner, like social media design. Okay, you're obviously going to see a lot of things. You can adapt it to your own business. Okay, you can adapt it to the purpose of your own business. All right, so I'm going to try and find something that looks cool, and then we're going to copy it. All right, so yeah, I really like this actually.
See coffee up there.
Okay, well, let me copy this first. So I copied it and I pasted it in my design. All right, because I'm about to copy it. So this is what I typically do. I'm pressing Alt while I'm moving. That's why it's moving everything together. Okay, so right, so here we have it. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'll reduce the opacity, sorry, so that I can see under it. Okay, that's one. So let's find another option. Somebody's mentioned coffee up. Where's coffee?
On Pinterest, one of the
Oh,
ways
coffee. Okay.
to reduce your selection, there was coffee there.
Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah. Um so yeah, look at this. This is very nice. I'm opening it. This is so nice too. Oh my god, so many selections. What are we going to do? Okay, so let me just check this one out as well. So really, really simple. And when you look at this thing, you realize how easy it is to copy because these designs are not difficult at all. They really look nice. Another thing that will change your game in your design is your images. Finding a great image is half of your problems gone. So I'm going to I shared with you a lot of links where you can get a lot of images. So if you paid attention to it, you would have noticed it. Okay. So Nate, all right, you're raising your hand. You can ask your question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. I have a question on the copyright, basically, of the pictures.
Oh,
I know most of the links you sent, those
yeah.
pictures are free, but generally, like on Pinterest, how can we be sure as designers that
Okay.
every single picture is,
Yeah.
copyright free?
So I would not search for an image to use on Pinterest. What I'm searching for on Pinterest is inspiration. So what I'm downloading here is a guide for what I'm going to design myself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get? So for example, downloading this, I just need this to be able to do my own design.
Okay.
Do you get? But when I want to source for images to use on my own design, I'm going to go to Raw Pixels or Free Pick or Unsplash or
Yeah.
all those places. Do you understand?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
but quick, another one, like
Okay.
when we're trying to imitate
Yeah.
already existing
Mm-hmm.
design, maybe
Yeah.
like, for example, Coca-Cola, we're just trying to, is there any risk of,
No.
legal,
No risk. No risk.
you know,
No risk. No risk.
okay,
Even if
just a
in fact,
mock-up, any mock-up is fine.
yes, no risk at all. No risk because those brands are trademarked. The only time when there's a risk is when you use their brand to sell. Do you get? As long as you keep, so for example, big brands like that, they have their brand guides. Coca-Cola, all those people. As long as you function your design within their brand guide, you're fine. If it's design style, all those things, there's no copyright for design style. Like music, if I sample Michael Jackson's music now, nobody can beat me. Do you get?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So how do we do this? Let's start with this biggest one. You know what? Let's start with this one. You know what? No, let's not start with this one. Let's start with this. Okay. So now, like I said, copying, you can copy verbatim or you can actually play around. Okay. So grab your copy now. This is the text we're going to have on our design. Here, this is where they put their texts. What you are learning from these people is how to lay out your design. Okay. That's one of the biggest things you learn from copying people, how to lay out your design. All right. So grab your copy now, right? Imagine that this is the text. Okay. Now you're going to notice that I'm going to vary a lot from what I'm copying. Okay, maybe that's because of how I am. But if you're not very sure and you want to actually just copy verbatim, feel free. Okay, but you know what? Let me just stick to this and act like I'm a beginner designer. Now, because of the text that we have, is different from the text that they have. So this needs to have a lot more space. Okay. So, and I'm trying to keep this within my margin. I'm not going to be like them. I want to keep it within my margin. All right. I mean, this is still a pretty safe distance, but as a beginner, don't play with it too much. Just stay somewhere safe. All right. So what do they have here? A circle, right? Come to elements, import your circle. And what color are we going to use for this? Our circle. We are probably going to use, now for different types of brand, there are different approaches, right? For this brand, we already have our brand colors. These two colors are brand colors. Okay, so we can splash other colors once in a while, depending on how we're feeling. Okay, but typically in your designs, stick to 2 to 3 colors. Try not to play around with too many colors. It will mess up your design. Look at this design now. It's like they only use only one color here to, play safe with colors. All right. So for this, I'm just going to stick to this color, right? Okay. Where's my logo? I'm going to copy my logo, paste it here in the same area where they put their own, except I'm going to keep my own within my margin. Okay. All right. So copy space is where the logo is. Now discount up to 70% off. We might not need that. But now what we need here is an image of a cup of tea. All right. So let's go to Unsplash. Tea. Okay. Are you following so far? Is there anything that anyone doesn't understand at this point?
No.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for the feedback.
No,
All right.
everything's
Good, good, good. So now, depending on the type of tea that they are selling in that shop, now I like this kind of images because it's always very sweet. Like, look at all the space around to play around with. I'm going to do like 4 different types of banners. I'm going to take different approaches to design them. Okay. Using an image as your background is one of the approaches that you can use. But for now, let's finish this one that we're working with. Okay. So let's assume this is the picture of the tea we're going to use. Now, depending on, there are many factors that can determine what you use. So look at this. We're trying to copy this design. See what they did. This thing has, they remove the background, they put a shadow under this one, they also put a shadow under. Very possible to do that. And I'm going to try and replicate that here by doing this. Now, how do you create a shadow? Typically, there are many ways to do that. Okay. So let me do something like this. Okay, hold on. Many times, if you want to create a shadow, you usually need an image, right? So let me go online and Google black circle. Okay. All right. So this is a black circle. I want one that's transparent. And how do you know now? In case you don't know about different types of media files, there's PNG and JPEG. Those are the most popular, right? Apart from PDF and all those rest. Now, a PNG has no background. So whenever I see something like this, it has no background. There are some that are scam PNGs with that looks like this, but are still JPEG files. But how you know is when you copy it and you place it in your design, you will not see the background. So this is a proper PNG file. Okay. Now, how does this work? So I'm going to go to my effects. Sorry, not effects. Adjust. Okay. Now, when I go to adjust, I'm going to blur. Can you see that? Okay, no, I can't use the vignette. I'm trying to find. Okay, no, it's not here. So, you know what? Let me undo. Right now, if I take this behind, Loretta, yeah, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you. I noticed that when you downloaded the circle, it just
Yeah.
showed up on your Canva screen.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Control C, Control V.
Like, oh, you mean you just copied it from the internet? You didn't download
Yeah.
it?
No, I didn't download it. I copied it.
Oh wow! Oh
Yeah.
wow! And then the
Yeah.
second question is, could you have just picked a circle from the elements section and make it black and still do this shadow
Yeah.
thing?
No, the reason why it doesn't work is images. So these things are like what do they call it? Are like vector files. The way Canva responds to vector files and image files are different. So you see, as I've clicked on it, I can't see anything here. But when I click on this, I can see all of this. Did you notice? That's because it's an image file.
No, I did. Please, could you do
So
that
now
again? Sorry.
selected on the circle that I imported. All I can change is the color.
Yeah.
But when I click on this, it shows this, and I can't change the color because it's an image.
Oh, okay.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how it works. Do you understand so far?
Yes, I do.
Cool. So I'm going to reduce the transparency a bit and then adjust and blur it completely. All right. So it obviously looks like a good shadow. Okay. Okay. So now I need to just drag this down a little. So let me see what it looks like. So you can see the shadow under. Can you see it? Can you see the shadow? Is everyone hearing me? Hello? No, I'm still connected. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, he's back, so you can ask him.
All right, thank you.
David, you're muted.
I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't know I was off. I was wondering why anyone was answering me. Okay. What was the last thing you saw?
You took off the background.
Okay, cool. Let me share my screen now. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
So yeah, now it has a background. Okay.
Sorry, David, can I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
I was asking, did you move the image backward or you deleted?
No, I moved it backwards.
All right, thank you.
See, this is it. I moved it forward now. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, so I moved it backward. That's why it feels like a shadow under. Okay.
Okay.
So obviously this color needs to be bright. Needs to be a bright color. So I'll probably use something like yellow or a very, 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 very bright version of this color. Okay, can you see? So I'm tinting it to give us a very bright shade of this color. Okay, because I want our background to be white. All right. So copy space is here. Grab your copy now. Both of them. I'm going to drag them down to the back. All right. Now you can see grab your copy now. All right. So now next we need our image. Okay, so this is weird. So let me adjust it. Okay. Now, what I need to do next is Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, yada yada. So I just need to
Sorry, David, I have a question.
Okay, feel free.
You just clicked on something that moved the image backward without actually to position.
Yes. So it's if you right click, you see. If you see bring forward, it's showing the shortcut here.
Okay.
So that's the shortcut. On Mac is command and this. On Windows it should be control and that. So if you right click, you see the password, you see the shortcut.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what I used. So I am going to do Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter now. So let me go to now. Another thing you want to learn about when you're adding social media icons. Sorry, it's 10 o'clock already, so this class should be ended, but I want to quickly finish this. Maybe do 2 more before we go. I apologize for extending. So now you have to go to elements, Instagram logo. Now, another thing that I want you to pay attention to is uniformity. Okay, if you are going to use Instagram logos that look like this, make sure that you don't go and use a Twitter logo that is colorful. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you're using the colorful logos, use the colorful logos all through. If you're using the single line versions of the logo, use the single line versions of the logo all through. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So right now I'm going to use the single line version of the logo. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce it, bring it down. I'm going to keep this within this space. Next, I'm going to add Twitter. Now I'm doing this because I want to be able to control the color. So I'm going to use our brown color for the logos, for the icons themselves. Okay, so I'm going to change all these colors to this color. What else do we need? Instagram, Facebook. Let me see Facebook. So Facebook logo. Please let me know if you don't understand what I meant when I said be uniform in the type of icons that you use. Okay, good. All right, so this is the place where we have in our icons. So we're just going to add text for the body bits. What's the name of this? Maybe our handle is at copies. A copies place. Okay, so we're just going to keep this down here. What font are we going to use? We're going to use so now another thing you want to select is your brand fonts. So for things like this, you want to use a regular sans font that does not have a lot of distractions. Okay, so let's find a sans serif. And you want to use one that has like bold version and light version. So and let me find a free one.
Maybe Montserrat.
Okay, so we can use Node. Yeah, Montserrat. Yeah, Montserrat, anyone like that, but I want to use something else for this one. So let's use Node, right? Because it has Node, Node boot, and Node light, and it's a free font. Okay, so let me use bold for this. Okay, now I'm going to first align it. Can you see? I'm aligning every single thing. Okay, so there we go. We have our social media icons. What do we need to have here? Order now. Maybe that's what we need to have. So what do we need? We just need to create a button. How do we create a button? Come here, create shape, search for shape.
Text is already grab your copy now. So is it order now redundant?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, true. So grab your copy now. So we can bring grab your copy now down here. Actually. Now, you see, another thing that you also want to factor in is the kind of copy that you have to work with will determine the way your design is going to look. Because of the kind of copy that we're going to have, we might not be able to achieve this big circle because it's just going to take up all the space. And then where is our text going to be? Okay, so that's where you have to use your discretion. So I have to reduce the size of this to bring up, grab your copy now. Okay. And I'll probably align it to the right. Okay. And then here, what are we going to have? I don't think we might need to have any information there. So that means now, if you delete this, you realize that this place looks very blank. So I think we might be done with this. So we can add an
address,
element.
a location.
Aha, a location. Typically, remember what I said about proximity. You want to put all similar information together. So if there's going to be address and all those things, you would most likely want to put this along with social media handle. Okay. Or even if it's not in the same place, they should be around the same area. Okay, so let me just group this together. First of all, group. You can do Control G or Command G to group. All right, so let me move this up a bit, and then it will be somewhere in VI now. So I'm just going to duplicate and change the address to what's
Please,
this,
I have a
143.
question.
All right, please shoot.
The group, please, what's the usefulness of the grouping?
The usefulness of the grouping is so that when you want to move many elements at the same time, you don't have to be selecting one by one again.
Okay.
Do you get? So like if I want to move everything here now, instead of me to select this, then select this, then select this, I've grouped everything together. So I'm just going to move them together. So all I need to select now is just 1, 2, 3. Do you get?
Okay.
Yeah. So for this, I'll align it to the left, then drag this to the left. See, every single thing must be aligned. Okay. So here we have all our details. So I think we're done so far in terms of copying this design. Okay, so we can add this element. They have this interesting element here. We can have something similar. Where do we find that? We find that somewhere around elements. So just search pattern. Aha. But you want to use a pattern that is not distracting. You see how very, very undistracting this pattern is. So, like this. Can you see this? Very, very undisturbing. So we can use this. All right, so we're going to change the color obviously to our brand colors, which are this, and what do we do for this? You can use the light pink one, except now we might need to just make it a little darker. Okay, so cool. Now we can delete our reference because we're in a safe place already. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to fit. Right now, what we need is our image and a nice background, and we're good to go. Okay, because of the image that we're copying, so sometimes copying can be problematic, especially if the format of that banner is not the exact format of your banner. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, typically I would probably have to delete this because now it doesn't look like it's making sense because of all the copying that we did. Okay, but because it's an image, I can expand this, right? And even align this to the left. Now it feels like everything has really changed. So you know what, let's go back to what it was before, right? I feel like I've confused you with this copying thing and it's my fault. So what I should do now is let's try to stick to this and make the best out of it, okay? I mean, because it's me, I'll probably have gone a different direction entirely, but at least you have a good understanding of why we've done everything we've done, the arrangement of the logo and the icon. Now, because you see this thing is aligned to the right, it's easier to read text left to right. So I'm going to align it to the left, bring this to the left and take this to the right, okay? Just for the sake of having good text that is readable. All right. Another thing that I might also want to do is stretch this down so that it's on one long line so that we have enough space for this image. Okay. So now you can see that it's obvious we've copied a lot of things, but we're not trying to, we're still being flexible because of the nature of the kind of design that we're doing. There's a difference. Okay.
I have a question, sorry.
Yes, please shoot.
I want to know why you are not merging or grouping the circle and the elements beneath it, the shadow, because
oh yeah, I could yeah, I should have done that actually. I think I'm just no, I should have done that. I'm just absent-minded. Okay, so let's assume that we make this bold and we change this to our brown color red. All right, now this thing doesn't look very organized and I don't know why. Okay, yeah, so it does now because of the capital C. All right. And then maybe you want to reduce the line with a little, the line height. Okay. So we have this background here with our, now we need to find our image. Okay. Let's copy this image. Right click and copy. All right. And paste. So now we've pasted this image. Two things that we can do. Remove background. So I'm waiting for it to load so I can remove the background. How do you remove the background? If you have Canva Premium, you can remove it on Canva Premium. If you don't have Canva Premium, go to remove.bg online. You'll be able to remove your background there. Okay. So it's the same way it works. Remove.bg. So I'm just going to effects, remove background. Let's see what it gives us. Sometimes it can give you very uninteresting things. So let's be hopeful depending on the type of image that you use. Ta-da. So we have our image already, right? I'm going to flip this horizontally. Flip
Sorry,
horizontally.
David, what side did you say?
What?
Site to remove the
remove.bg, remove.bg.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, welcome. So now we have our background removed. What I'm going to do now is align this. Now see, if I left it here like this, it will just look like it's hanging from nowhere and it doesn't have a good visual appeal. So I'm going to just bring it down, let it merge, look like this whole thing was one image altogether. Okay. And maybe even bring this down a bit. Okay. And extend this up again. Okay. So next, we just want to give it a nice background. A very similar color, most likely. Yeah, so this works. Now you can see the shadow effect of our image on it, and you can do the exact same thing for this image. You can add a shadow. Add a shadow by duplicating this image. All right, so I'm going to duplicate this image. Right, now this is it. I've duplicated it, okay? I'm going to keep it exactly directly on it, right? Now I'm going to edit this one. I'm going to go to filter, adjust. I'll blur it. You can see it's coming out already, but I want to make it black.
Is how are you blurring it?
Can you see what I'm controlling? So reset, right? The blurring is this. This is blurring. So I just blurred, right? But blurring is not
I can
enough.
see it.
I want to make it black so it looks like a shadow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the brightness so it looks dark. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it one layer back.
Okay.
Can you see what just happened?
Yes.
Exactly. So now what is happening here is you can see this thing here. So the blurring is too much. So I need to reduce it. So let me take this good one backwards so I can reduce the blurring here. I'm going to come to adjust, reduce it, and then take it back again. Can you see what I'm avoiding? This line. I don't want it to appear because it makes it look unprofessional. Okay, so I'm going to redo it again. I will take this. Is anybody confused at this point?
No, I'm not.
Okay, if you are, let me know. If you're not, no problem. If you are, let me know. Okay, cool. So here, this one is the problem because I don't want this thing to show. So I'm going to come to adjust, reduce the blur again. All right. Now I'm going to drag this back to be on top of it. So yeah, now it looks kind of like there's a shadow behind the image. Can you see that? So there we go. Right. We have our design. Grab your copy now. With the picture of the T and the location and the address. Okay. Another way to do a design like this is, so it won't be difficult for you to copy something like this, obviously, because you just need to put an image here have your text, have your detail up here, put your logo here, and maybe put 1 or 2 elements around it. Very simple. Same thing with this. So let's try to copy something like this. Okay. So what do? Let's find an image of a T, of T. Of T. Okay. So let's use this because this one is round. Okay. So I'm just going to copy this image, right? Come to my canvas. Let me make this bigger so that it's very obvious what we're copying. All right. So what do I need to do? I'm going to go to my elements because what I need now is a frame. So I'm just going to type frame. Obviously, I need a circular frame. So I'm going to click on circle, move it into the middle. Can you see? How I know it's in the middle is it aligns. You see these lines? Keep watching them. Those pink lines. Expand, right? Now, the image I've copied, I'm just going to paste it. Control V is loading already. Okay. What I need to do now is drag it and paste it into this. Drag it into this frame. Now, the image is in the frame. What next I need to do is enlarge this such that it feels like this is the only thing here. Let me know if you are lost or if you don't understand what I'm doing.
Sorry, I have a question, please.
Okay.
Yes, when you enlarge the pictures,
yeah,
does not reduce the pixel?
It does. It does. So that's why you should typically get a very high resolution image, or better still, find an image that you don't have to adjust. So that's why I said searching for the right picture is like half of the work.
Okay,
So
thank you.
You're welcome. So we fulfilled our purpose now. I'm going to zoom in. Right? So it looks like a circular cup, like it was nothing. But we can find a better image actually. Yeah, so you see, this works better for the purpose of what we wanted to do. So let me just copy this instead. I've copied it. I'm pasting it.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Yes, please. I've dragged it in.
Can you, is it possible to remove the background and then just use the image alone instead?
Yeah, it's possible. You can do that. You can do that. That's kind of like what they did here actually. But I'm just trying to show you also how to use that circular feature, because sometimes you might not be able to remove the background. Okay, so effects, background remover. Cool. So yeah, remove the background, and here we go. We have our cup of tea. So this cup of tea doesn't have a very nice feel, but since copy is selling tea, everybody will buy it. Okay, so we have our cup of tea already. What we need now, maybe we need a good background, but before we do background, let's have details first. So let's just copy all these our details because they will never change. Paste them here. All right. Now we need to align this to the right because of the nature of this design. Okay. So I'm aligning everything to the right. I'm going to drag this to the right for it to align. Drag this to the right to align. Once 3 of them have aligned, I'll drag them together. Okay. So we have all our details. Next, the copy. Imagine we're using the exact same copy. Grab your copy now. I'm going to paste it here. Obviously, make this smaller. And maybe grab your copy now. I'm making it smaller by pressing Command, Shift, and less than. You can do that on your laptop as well. There's a shortcut. Command, Shift, less than. Control, Shift, less than on Windows. Okay. So I'm just going to align this to the right because of the nature of our banner. Okay. And I'll keep it on the, okay. So another thing you can even do is you can do it such that it feels like your image is, the text is under your image. So what you will not to do is drag this under. Can you see? So it feels as if the image is on top of the text. Okay, so yeah, that's something you can also do. And if you want to create a shadow for this, you know what to do. Duplicate it, blur it, and then it's going to create your shadow. Yeah, so that people can still see the C. Adeleke Samuel, can you help me mute your mic? So here, there we go. Copies place is the logo. We're going to paste it. I mean, it could have been here. It could have been here as well. Anywhere you want it to be is fine. Maybe we need to make this bigger just a bit. And there we go. So our reference material is no longer necessary. We delete it. What do we do? Change background. Come to background. Or you can go online, find an image, go to raw pixels. Let me see if I can find a nice premium image on raw pixel. Right. And there you can just change your background. Maybe I want to use a premium rich background. What do? I search for, so yeah, see, this is a nice background. We could have used it. I mean, we can use it. You can free download it, or you might as well just copy into your design and paste on the background. And it's going to appear. And then you take it to the back and you have your background. Okay. Another thing you might want to do to grab your copy now,
How
pop.
did you take it to the back?
Right click on it. Right click, see, send to back. But I use the shortcut.
Bring forward.
Yeah. So another thing you can do to make this pop is you can add a shape. So come to elements, add a rectangle. Click on it, stretch it out, but bring it under. So maybe I'll change the color of this to that our serious purple color. Okay, but I'm going to take it down. Now, this is obviously color blocking, right? So I'm just going to align this to the left and then change the color of this to white. Okay, or I can change the color of this to this really popping color. Okay, so either of them works fine, right? Depending on the amount of information you might have to add. So I mean, this is actually working from scratch without templates. When it comes to using templates, when you're able to do this without templates, when it comes to using templates, you'll just be a boss. Gets. And another thing, you can also get references from the internet. So imagine that I want to find, I want to add something like maybe what can we add to this design? Maybe like a pattern. I'm just going to Google pattern PNG. Remember, I said PNG files don't have a background. So if you search for a PNG file that has no background, okay, so many of these patterns have backgrounds. You're going to actually, okay, so look at this. This doesn't have a background. Copy. I fear this is one of those scam. You see, I told you some of them are scam. So this is not a real PNG file. So I'm going to search again. I hope this is not one of them too. So let me see, paste it in. Still a scam. So let's see if we can find something else. I'm trying to think of any pattern, anything at all. So imagine you wanted to add gold. Okay, see, gold swoosh, for example, right? Now, another thing you want to get familiar with is knowing the names of these things so that you can know what you're looking for, right? So that's something that you would have to learn over time as you Google and as you learn, as you design even more, okay? So let's see if this is one of those proper PNG files. Paste. It's not. Well, even if it's not, you can actually always remove the background and use it, right? So if you don't find what you're looking for,
Sorry, David, how can we know the names of this stuff?
That one's another whole lesson entirely. But you learn it by as you're Googling, as you're growing online, as you find random things, you just say, oh my God, what's the name of this thing? Oh, that's a swoosh. Oh, okay. What's the name of this thing? That's that's like another whole lesson entirely. But because of time, I won't be able to go into all of that. But yeah, there's all of that you can learn as well. So let me see. No, this won't work. Anyways, you get the idea already. You can just copy things from the internet, paste them in your designs that have no background, so that they can be like, they can create an element in your design. Okay. So any questions so far? I've taken so much of your time. I apologize. Any questions? Anything that you don't understand? So you can apply this principle onto almost any other type of thing you're designing. I didn't hear you. Any question?
Yes, I have a question, please.
Okay.
So the previous design, the one you were making, that the one you brought in, yeah, this one exactly. Is where you moved the shadow back and forth, like you're not going back to position. So is there a shortcut for that?
Yes, there's a shortcut. When you right click, you see the shortcut. This is a shortcut here.
Okay, but you did not right click while you were moving it back and forth.
Yes.
I didn't see you.
No. This is just showing you the shortcut.
Okay,
so you know what to press. So for me, it's command. I don't know what the name of this thing is, like stylish brackets, big brackets, rectangular bracket. If I do command bracket now, it's going to go back. If I do the right side of the bracket, it's going to come up.
Okay.
If you want to increase the size, for example, command greater than, command shift greater than, or control shift greater than is going to increase it and reduce it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
right, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question? No question. All right. Thank you guys so much. I will. So please, you guys, find out, learn more, go online, Google things. You just learn more by actually going online to Google stuff. Please don't forget the assignments. When you're done with your logo, come up with some creatives. Share them with me in my email. I will fix a date for the class when we're actually going to go over everything. I'll go over everybody's work one by one, make comments and what can be done better, so that you guys can do good stuff. All right. So if there are no questions, we can. I am not very sure. I want to confirm when I'll be free, but it will be next week.
All right. Sorry, one more thing, please.
Okay.
Sorry, is it the next class you discuss about your what's it called, payment?
About my.
You once sent a voice note on WhatsApp because during the day you said that after the class, the other classes that you could hold, but they'll be paid.
Oh, yes. Hey, I said I'm planning it. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm planning how it's going to be. I have a good idea of what it's going to look like. I haven't figured out when it will be, but it will definitely be in March. I think it will be in March. So I won't have a lot of time to prepare and like gather everything together. But yeah, it will be in March.
Right.
So, but this class is not that class. This class is just going through your designs, making comments and
yes,
stuff.
Yes, I'm aware.
All right. Any other question before we close? All right, guys. Thank you so much. No questions. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sticking with me. This thing has almost become an air video. A video, right? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget to share your work. Use the hashtag, share your work online. Do good stuff. All right, guys. God bless you. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
David.
David.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right.
Good night.